already worked project, already created. And here that we are going to continue with the create new project with this one. And then here that the console application, if you don't see it, it is also the recent project template that I used. And you can search here console application here that there are another one that the Visual Basic, C++, and so on. It's this one, console app, that the first one. And then click to next button here that the name of the project. Let's name it first example. And this is the location of your project that to be created in your computer, in your local computer. Here you can select this one. Now you can see it will create on my C that the users and my name and source folder repos. And then here that the first example you can see, and then another first example. It creates a folder first example, and then it creates another one, and then project file to be located in the second first example folder. Yeah, it's your choice actually. You can place solution and project in the same directory if you want to do it. Then you can choose it. Just all the project files to be located in this just one first example, or the projects will be located all the files to be just in one first example folder. It is yeah, it is your choice, and it will be like this, or you can change that the second folder. And then location, I'm going to create another folder that for your group. It is 2024-05. That's the starting date, and 20. It will be folder location. And then let's click next button. Yes, it is .NET. You can choose, for example, .NET 7, .NET 6, or yeah, we are going to use .NET 8, but you can choose .NET framework from here. And if you want to show that the top level statements, it is the template as I showed that in .NET 5, it shows explicitly that it's not hide that the template. If you want to use it, then you can check this one, this check mark, but I'm not going to use it. It will be hidden in my examples. Actually, I don't need it. It will be work on the background, but I am not going to see it. Okay, let's click to create, and then the project will will generate, and then is created. And here that it is the first project. You can see program.cs. My project name on the right side, Solution Explorer. I can see my project name and the files. You can see that the program.cs is created here. Now let's run the code. Here you can run with this button, or you can use debug menu and you can use this one. You can click here, start debugging, or start without debugging, or you can press F5. But in most cases that we are going to use this button. If you click on it, then our application, of course, all programming language starts with hello world, and here also that it starts with hello world, and then it will show on the screen on the console. And you can see the result. It is hello world, and yes, here that it's finished, and it's location of the file, and then it's exe file. Actually, it starts when I start it. It creates an exe file, and then press K to close this window, this console window. It is Windows actually. This console belongs to Windows. And then yes, we can see like this. And I'm going to that the sometime in most cases also I'm going to use that the console dot read line empty that read line. It is because of that I'm going to stop the execution it actually gets the information from user, but I am going to use it for stop the execution and to see or show the clear result. If you um, execute again that application, now you can see, I can see just the execution, just the result, and the other information can confuse sometime. Because of that, it is clear, I can understand, and it is the result. And because of that, I am going to use that this console.read line. Also that you can use console.readk, or that is some other methods that you can use, but it's okay actually. Now let's see. I'm going to delete this one, and let me change here. You can type with me, or you can uh, later also that you can do it, or if you know these concepts, if you're already familiar with it, and yeah, you can just watch it and enter your name, for example, and then let's get information from user. And for it, that we are going to uh, create a very no, it's string. Yes, and the Visual Studio Code also helps about the code. For example, it's IntelliSense, and then I can if I agree with the string, for example, I can press Tab key, and then I can create the variable name, and then equal console.readline. Yeah, Visual Studio helps to us. Okay. And then we can show the result on screen. Let's use, for example, let's write the message, hello, and plus name. And then it will show on screen. We are going to get information from user using console.readline. And then we are going to show it on the screen. Let's run the code. It is first example, enter your name. Let's write my name. And then if I press enter, then it will use this variable, and then it will show together with given message. Yes, and then if I press enter again, then my execution will stop, and I come back to code. Here, that right line and the right that you can use, or this kind of execution, of course, right will be more readable, more understandable, maybe that I can say after enter your name, after message that I can directly on the I can enter at the same line. And if I run the code again, then you can see my cursor is appeared on the same line, and I can write the name. And then if I press enter, and then I can see the result again. It will be, yeah, more user friendly. Sometimes, of course, maybe if you want to get the in a new line, that you can use write line method here, at this one. Okay. And then another thing, another property that I would like to show you, that breakpoint. Breakpoint is that they ignore the code from declared point. If I, for example, now my cursor is here, then my mouse pointer is here. If you go to left, that's a line 8, and I would like to put breakpoint here. If you go left, and here you can see that appear the point, and if you click the left mouse button, then here I put a breakpoint, and it means the code will ignore after this point if I have any code. It will stop here, that the execution will stop here. Yes, it will be that the time to time you can put some several breakpoints, and you can check your code. For example, if you have an error, or if you want to what execute that actually that the given part, you can test some things, you can check some things, and it is also that useful sometimes. And if you run the code, now let's see what will happen if you run the code, and then if you enter the name, for example, and then if you press enter, now execution is stopped. But my console is here. It stopped here in this line, and then it is still working. You can understand here it's still working, not stopped. My application is still working. And here that we have locals. It is that this name is located. It's actually is the temporary memory. It's in the RAM, and you can see the locals. It shows what I have. It is name. It is name, and the value is John, and then the type is string. Sometimes it's useful that tomorrow also that we are going to use it for checking arrays values and what we have in the array. Sometimes it's very useful, and what value that you have for show these locals. If you don't see it, don't see this window, you can see locals. It's still working. We put breakpoint, and then we are uh, going to debug menu here, debug menu, Windows, and then you can see here that the locals, it's this one. But it will not appear if your application is not executed, is not running. Let me see chat. Okay, Anna. Thank you for information. No problem. Yeah, thank you. Okay, and this one, if you stop the execution, now you can see, if you stop the execution, if you go to debug menu and Windows, you don't see that you can't see the locals window. Yeah, it's important that need to be put breakpoint and need to be run, and then you can go to debug menu, and then you can see here that the locals is here. It will help us. Yes, firstly, of course, that it's empty now because I need to run, enter a value, and now you can see it stopped, and then you can see that the local. It is another way that you can see it's still running, and if you go to over the variable name, now that with mouse pointer, and then you can see it shows the value of the name, what value that I have in the memory. You can see it is John, and yes, it shows here. And also another way that you can right click on the variable name, and then also it's still working. I don't stop the execution. Uh, let's go to quick watch here, that this one. And if you click on it, then you can see also here that the name is John, that value, and the type of the value is string. It will help us tomorrow also that we are going to use it. Today also that we are going to use it. Okay, it is the way. Now I am going to remove this breakpoint.